Welcome everyone to Gift of Health Tuesday Total Wellness. And I'm so excited to have you guys here. And today, guess what? Like what we are going to do. We really have an exciting session. But for those of you who are meeting us for the first time, I'm Dr. Shobha Rayapudi. I'm a certified lifestyle medicine doctor and co-founder of Gift of Health, where we help people struggling with chronic diseases to break free from those diseases, have more energy, and reduce their medications. So, like every week on Tuesdays, we do this Gift of Health Total Wellness, where we bring in experts so that we can increase your awareness and help you lead a very healthy life. And today we have our very special guest, Dr. Sirisha Potluri, who is going to show like how we can do amazing thing with our plant-based dishes. Because sometimes when it comes to food, we can only enjoy food when it is tasty, right? And like how we can enhance the flavor and taste and enjoy the food. Because sometimes we think that healthy food is bland, healthy food doesn't taste good, or even when we talk about plant-based foods, we think that that is something that is not going to taste good. So today, like we are going to see how we can enhance the flavors of our dishes. So without further ado, like I'm very excited to introduce you guys to Dr. Sirisha Potluri. And some of you might know her because she did appear on our Gift of Health Total Tuesday Wellness, where she had shown spicy, savory dishes, like in her sorry in our Total Wellness Chat. So Dr. Sirisha Putluri, she's a certified lifestyle medicine physician and a dietary coach who has hosted over 70 plus plant-based workshop and more than 6 plus diabetes reversal program. She is a diabetes undone workshop facilitator, a consulting lifestyle medicine expert on global teleclinic, and a defining moment for her came 8 years ago when she guided her father in reversing his diabetes, showcasing the transformative power of lifestyle interventions. So, inspired by this success, she actually doubled her efforts by founding plant based workshops, a thriving social network with many active participants. And her workshops are virtual, giving an opportunity from participants from any countries to attend as well. So, with the focus on South Asian communities, she endeavors to help prevent, treat, and reverse chronic diseases. She has been featured on numerous shows and podcasts, including Jane Unchained, News Network, Chef AJ, and including our own Gift of Health. And we are so excited to have her. So, welcome, Sirisha. And I'm so overjoyed to have you here.
Thank you, Dr. Shobha. Thank you. It's we feel home when I come to your show, right? Yeah, thank you for all the introduction and thank you for what you do. You're changing lives one session at a time. And
Wow.
I'm not even, overquoting this because there are many people who are benefiting from these Tuesday talks. So without further ado, I want to give the participants on what we are going to learn today. It is we are going to use this amazing herbs and spices not only to flavor our dishes, but also enhance the nutritive and antioxidant power of your dishes. Um, Plant-based diet, the whole food plant-based diet is already very healthy. We all know that, right? But what can we do to enhance the flavor, to increase the antioxidant and nutritive power of these whole food plant-based diet is by adding the spices and herbs. Today, let me share my screen quickly. So today we will be sharing few herbs and spices. I mean, there are so many out there, but today I chose 7 of these. Or 8 of these, because I included saffron and cardamom under one thing. So, one is cilantro. Many of you already know what this herb is. If you are a fan of Mexican or Indian or Thai cooking, we see cilantro being used in many of their cuisines, right? So, we're going to talk about cilantro. We're going to talk about amla. I don't know how many of you know what amla is. Amla is a berry. It's a fruit, but it is used uh, as a condiment, as well as a medicinal fruit, as well as it is also consumed as a tea. So we'll be learning more about amla. And then saffron, cardamom. The reason I included both of them together is saffron and cardamom are commonly used in desserts. They enhance the flavor of desserts. Not that they're only used in desserts. Saffron has been used in dishes like paella, right? So that's a dish where saffron is used, and saffron is also used in some of the pulavs, like the rice-based dishes, and even in risottos, saffron has been used. And cardamom is commonly used in Indian chai. When we make chai and we, smash those cardamom pods and, we put them in chai, it's literally enhances the flavor. It, the aroma is so good that you don't even want to put any sugar or reduce the sugar or reduce the sweetener that we add in the chai, because cardamom has that sweet flavor in it. So if anyone is used to drinking Indian chai, they already know what cardamom is, right? And it's commonly used in Indian desserts, Middle Eastern desserts. Baklava, if you are familiar with baklava, they use a lot of cardamom. And then also in the savory dishes, it's part of garam masala. Believe it or not, cardamom is a very important part of garam masala. So when you're making spicy Indian dishes, cardamom is used in there. And then the fourth spice or root that we are going to talk about is ginger. Okay, everyone knows about ginger, but I ask, are we using enough ginger, right? So after this session, I'm sure we'll be using more ginger. And this turmeric. Now, turmeric became a universal superfood, I guess. There are 8,000 studies that have been done on turmeric, believe it or not, on PubMed, especially when it comes to cancer. Turmeric is like superhero. So we're definitely going to learn more about turmeric and Nigella sativa. I know it sounds very novel, a very new name, right? Nigella sativa. It is nothing but black seed. So it is very common in Middle Eastern cuisines as well as Indian cuisines to use Nigella sativa. I believe this seed is a wonder seed. Not many people know about this. Now people are getting to know about these, especially when they attend these diabetic reversal sessions. Since me and Shobha, we talk a lot about this. So people are getting to know about Nigella sativa. And then lime and lemon juice. I particularly included lime and lemon juice here, even though it's not a herb or spice, it is one of the best things we can include if we want to reduce the salt intake. We know like the two causes of the chronic disease, or the major causes of chronic disease, is not eating enough fruit and eating a lot more salt, right? So whatever we can do to reduce the salt consumption can be beneficial for our health. So one of that is lemon juice or lime juice. So whenever you make a dish, sprinkle some lime or lemon juice and then try to add salt so that you can reduce the salt or completely avoid the salt by just adding lime or lemon juice. Okay, so
Yeah, like
Let's
this is so wonderful, Dr. Sirisha. But why do we even bother to add spices or herbs in our food? So what if we don't add them?
So one thing is we are missing out on these amazing, amazing health benefits. And the other thing is, I mean, we want food to be flavorful. In
Mhm.
the whole food plant-based community, we are telling our patients and our participants in the workshop to avoid oil, to avoid salt, sugar. And unfortunately, we are all like programmed to eat food with all those things.
Mhm.
Uh, Even though the nature doesn't come with oil, salt, and sugar, we are unnaturally adding all that, and our taste buds got so used to that. So we have
Mhm.
to undo that process of, processed food.
Mhm.
So when we are adding cilantro, it has a very distinct limey and refreshing flavor. So whenever I'm making a Mexican dish, okay, for example, today this is our lunch where we are, where I made like black beans, corn, red peppers.
Yeah,
So,
so I just stopped the screen so that people can
oh,
see
okay, sure, sure.
see your dish. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, this is the dish we made for lunch today. I'm connecting from Los Angeles. It's like around 2 p.m. here. So this is our lunch. So dishes like this, if I'm not adding salt, what I would do is I add cilantro. Let me show. I mean, many of you know how cilantro looks, but just so this is a cilantro bunch. Wash it very, very thoroughly because it grows in the soil. We want to avoid the microbes and all. So wash it thoroughly with water and baking soda and all that, but try to get organic as much as possible. So for dishes like this, we can add some cilantro, some chopped cilantro, and some lemon or lime juice, and we can avoid the salt. Of course, there is no oil in it, but I know many people are able to avoid oil in their cooking, but not salt. So, so wherever possible, if we can reduce the salt intake, it's such an amazing benefit because many people they think like, oh, I don't have high blood pressure. Why should I, reduce my salt or eliminate salt? We have to remember, like, salt is not only increasing the blood pressure, but also increasing the inflammation. It's not good for our arteries. It stiffens the arteries. So people who are consuming low salt have better heart health, not only because of low blood pressure, but because of lower inflammation. So, to answer your question, Shobha, it's like the reason to add these herbs and spices is to reduce the salt as well as increase the flavor of the dishes. So, this is where the cilantro comes. And there is a reason we are adding cilantro at the end of the dish, not only just to garnish, but to keep the freshness of that raw cilantro. Since we are already talking about cilantro, let me share some more benefits of cilantro. It is, of course, we know like cilantro is used as a herb to garnish the dishes. If we are having a pho, like a Vietnamese dish, or if we are having Thai curries or Mexican, salsas, or like in the burritos or cilantro rice, we know like we use a lot of cilantro, but it's not just a garnish. It's an amazing herb which has been shown to increase the nitrate content, in our blood vessel. It has almost 281 milligrams of nitrate for 100 grams. You know where it stands? Right next to chard and very close to arugula. When arugula has the highest nitrate, second, third highest is cilantro, believe it or not. And how easy it is to incorporate this. If
Yeah,
we
I mean, tastes amazing. Like for some people, if arugula is too strong, we can
exactly,
definitely go for cilantro because cilantro, it tastes so good. It has the nice
right?
aroma and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
So one benefit we talked about is nitrate content. And for people who already attended your sessions, they know how important nitrate is in the food, right? It dilates our blood vessels and improves the flow. And that's why we are asking our patients to eat more dark leafy green vegetables to get that goodness of nitrate. And you're getting the goodness of nitrate with low oxalate content. Cilantro has low oxalate content, and the added benefits is it has the power of detoxification. And how it does that is by chelating. It acts as a chelating agent. If someone has like high lead levels or lead poisoning, they do chelation, right? So naturally, cilantro has that chelating effect. It's shown to reduce the risk of lead poisoning. How amazing is that, right? So definitely incorporate cilantro in everyday life, not only to get help from heavy metal detoxification, because we don't know what's in our water, what is in our food, and we get exposed to all these unnatural things every day. So it's a good idea to include a cilantro. And one more thing is cilantro has anti-diabetogenic properties. So what does that mean? That means when you're consuming cilantro every single day, the ability to regulate blood sugars is better. So if you're a pre-diabetic or diabetic, or if you have a family history of diabetes, take advantage of this delicious herb and include it. But there is one thing about cilantro. I'm not making this up, but for some people, they have a gene which makes them taste cilantro like a soap, and it's real. So for people who has that gene, don't worry, go and grab some parsley. Okay, we totally understand. You came like that with your genes. So I know some people who actually have this gene and they cannot tolerate the taste and smell of cilantro. But I have seen in some studies they said, like, when you crush cilantro, like while making guacamole, when you crush the cilantro, the soapy taste and aroma is gone. So try that method, or cooking it, a little bit high temperature can help reduce that soapy taste. But there is an alternative, which is parsley. But rest of us who don't have that gene, enjoy the cilantro. Okay, that is about cilantro. And in future, sessions, we can learn on how we can use this in our dishes. As I mentioned, we can use in Mexican, Middle Eastern, in the Thai food, in Vietnamese pho. We use in Indian dishes. So that is about cilantro. Any questions, Shobha, from your audience?
Like you did such an amazing job of explaining the benefits, Sirisha. It just felt like I should run now, buy cilantro and add it to all my dishes. And it's, as you said, it is such an amazing herb. So thank you for letting us know about all the benefits and like what
Anytime,
it can
anytime.
do. Yeah.
I'm telling you, one trick I ask my workshop participants is, like, I ask them to send a picture of their weekly grocery, and I
Mhm.
make sure they have at least 10 bunches of this.
Yes. Yes.
So if it is in your home, it'll be in your food. So remember,
Yes.
that's a trick of using healthy ingredients. Only if it is in your home, you can have them.
Mm.
And one amazing thing about cilantro is you can grow it in your home. If you live in, weathers like sunny California, you can grow cilantro from these amazing seeds called coriander seeds. In India and many other countries, they call cilantro coriander. Here
Mm.
they call seeds coriander seeds, so we can, break them and grow cilantro in our own homes. So the next herb I will be talking about is amla. I cannot say it's a herb. It's an amazing fruit. Can I screen share one more?
Yeah, yeah, you can share it again, Sirisha.
Okay.
Try sharing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there you go. Mm.
yeah. Yeah. So the second, you know, herb or spice or the fruit I wanted to share is amla. So amla is like is amazing when it comes to its health benefits. First of all, it's a fruit, and it comes under berry. It's a berry, and um so along with the cilantro, amla also has the benefits of reducing blood sugars, but these benefits are much higher when compared to many other food ingredients. It's so high that there are some diabetes reversal organizations that sell amla powder on their websites. Can you believe it? So it's available in fruit forms. It's a fruit, right? We all know it's a fruit. It's available in the frozen section in Indian stores. Any Indian stores we see, it's available in the frozen section, but I can understand uh, that not everyone has Indian stores who carry the frozen fruit of amla, right? So for someone like that, we can order amla powder. We can order them online. I got this on Amazon. You can, order any brand. I try to buy organic as much as possible. And the benefits are just from 1 teaspoon of amla. Believe it or not, it has 2 times antioxidant power of ground turmeric, 2.5 times antioxidant power of acai, 13 times antioxidant power of raspberries, black raspberries, 50 times power of, antioxidant power of blueberries, 60 times antioxidant power of pomegranate, 75 times antioxidant benefit of goji berries. So for that reason, I would highly recommend everyone to use the amla. Just 1 teaspoon every single day to add to your already healthy whole food plant-based diet. When we are sharing, things like this, when we are talking about amla or turmeric and all these amazing spices and herbs, never isolate this and think like, oh, it is the superfood. If I use this, I can eat whatever I want. It doesn't work like that. These should be an adjunct to your already healthy plant-based diet, right? So if someone is trying to reverse their diabetes, someone trying to reduce their cholesterol numbers, right? So they are doing everything possible. Yeah, if not 100%, 80% whole food plant-based diet, then I tell them, why don't you try adding more cilantro to your dishes? Why don't you try add 1 teaspoon of amla powder and slowly increase it to 2 to 3 teaspoons over the span of an year, right? So things like that have shown to be so beneficial. So amla has blood sugar reducing benefits. Even though it has a benefit, we have to be very careful, because if someone is using medicine to reduce their blood sugars and also using amla, they can go into hypoglycemia. So we should be always testing your blood sugars when using, ingredients like this. I definitely want to caution this. Because when I tell my patients or workshop participants, they get so enthusiastic, right? Oh my gosh, I never heard about this, amazing ingredient. I want to go out and buy, and they start using 1 to 2 tablespoons every day. And some of them, they get hypoglycemic. It's as good as anti-diabetogenic medicine. So use it, but use it with caution. If someone is taking, diabetes medication, definitely check your sugars when using amla. And amla also has amazing anti-cancer benefits, right? Because of all these antioxidant properties. And as I told you, like one of the diabetes organization is selling amla for their blood sugar reducing things. Similarly, there is a breast cancer surgeon who sells amla powder on her website because amla has been shown to prevent breast cancer. So I know it may be new for many of you. Some of you may already know, but never got a chance to use it. So I would say, like, buy it, keep it in your home, add it in your oatmeal, add in your smoothies. If you can get hold of these, frozen amla pieces, make grate them and grate them in the food processor and add as a, mix it in your rices or mix it in your salads. Try to use these things. I mean, knowing is one thing and using is the other thing. So the whole idea of the sessions that Dr. Shobha is doing is to put all this knowledge in practice. So definitely try amla, which has many benefits. One is lowering blood sugars, reducing cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, as well as anti-cancer benefits. Okay.
Yes.
So
So Sirisha, maybe if you could just stop share and again show the amla,
mhm.
the pieces, yeah, because now people are able to see better instead of the slide. Okay, yeah.
This is the
Those-
frozen amla. I
Mm,
mean, they already made them into slices, removed the pit and made them into slices. So this is frozen amla packet. And I use this in my dips. They taste amazing when we make a dip out of it. There are some recipes that are there on my website. And you can always find recipes online with, fresh or frozen amla. And the common way that I use amla is add the amla powder in my morning oatmeal.
mhm.
This amla has a very sweet aftertaste. You have to experience that. When you eat it first time, oh my gosh, all the vitamin C is like blasting in your mouth, right? Because we talked about it has 60 times the antioxidant power of pomegranate. Where is that coming from? From the vitamin C. So you'll definitely feel that, very citrusy and pungent taste. Not in a bad pungent, but then very citrusy pungent. But once you eat this, after a few minutes, you will get a very sweet aftertaste. And, growing up in India in childhood, we used to eat amla and then drink water.
Yes, and the
Right,
water
Shobha?
is, yeah, and the water tastes so sweet actually when you drink
Exactly.
water after eating amla. Yeah.
I don't know the mechanism. It's like nature's wonder, right? It's like few things in nature we cannot explain. So every day I add this in my oatmeal, and then after that, when I drink water, I'm like, "Ooh, the water tastes very sweet," and it's nostalgic. I go back to my growing days in India, where like we eat the fresh fruit and then drink water. So yeah, so this is how, like, any, as I said, you can use any brand, try to get the reviews and try to buy the organic. So this is the amla powder.
Yeah, so Kinder is saying, I love amla powder on corn on the cob and
Ooh,
corn, bean, rice, bell pepper dishes. Yeah, so it's a good idea if you can just put it on
right?
corn on the cob as well. Yep.
Yeah, see, we are getting great, ideas on what to use it on. That's amazing. So let me share the screen again and get back to the next one. Yeah, the saffron and cardamom. So again, these are versatile, both saffron and cardamom. We can use to both flavor our sweet dishes as well as our savory dishes. Saffron has been known to improve the stress and PMS symptoms, or also has a role in Alzheimer's prevention. There are still studies being done. So, but definitely there are studies where saffron use has shown to improve the mood. So it has a role in preventing depression. And cardamom has been shown to improve the digestive health, reduce high blood pressure, and also has anti-cancer activity because it increases the natural killer cell activity. Okay, now I want to show how they look. I mean, some of you already know how they look. So this is how the cardamom looks. This is the green cardamom. There is also black cardamom, but this is like commonly used cardamom. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with the vegan chai or the Indian chai that they make with cardamom, and they also add some ginger in the chai. And what we do is like we take few cardamom pods, and then take like a mortar and pestle and you know crush it and then use it in our dishes. That's how we are supposed to do. We don't use the whole pods generally because we're not getting the benefits of the seeds, right? So make sure always crush the cardamom. You can even use the grinder to grind it, but this is handy if we're just using few pods to add in our chai. And I am telling you, when someone is making a chai with cardamom in it, the whole house smells amazing. That's something you need to experience. No one can say that for you. So definitely include cardamom in your tea, in your some of them they use in coffee, they use in turkey coffee, they use cardamom. And then if you're making sweets, we make beetroot halwa, which is made with beets and dates. The cardamom powder adds such an amazing taste. Similarly, try using saffron in your dishes if you're making rice dishes like pulao, or if you're making risotto, or if you're making any sweets, like the one I mentioned, like rice pudding that we make with brown rice and some plant milk. These are the saffron strands, and they have been shown to be very, very helpful in stimulating our brain as well as reducing the risk of depression and improving our mood. So these are some things that we don't use it, not because we don't know about it, but we don't talk about them too often. So these are some things that's a good idea to buy and keep them at home, so that the chance of using them will increase, right? If it is in our home. So the next one I want to talk about is ginger. We all know what is ginger. Everywhere, any health food store you go now, they're selling ginger tea. But I would say, like, as much as possible, try to buy the ginger, either the dry ginger or the ginger powder or the fresh ginger, and make a tea so that you're not losing that amazing ginger alls, because we don't know what they are selling in the ginger tea packets, but I'm sure the reputed brands are doing the right thing. Again, ginger has anti-inflammatory properties as well as, reduce the blood sugar levels. So many of the things today, the herbs and spices we are talking about, I'm saying that it has blood sugar lowering effects. What can we do? That's what the studies say, right? So whenever we are using these compounds, there is like blood sugar lowering effects. And there were some studies done which shows that that decreases osteoarthritis pain as well as pain from rheumatoid arthritis, right? After 6 weeks, it decreased 51%, 31% of knee pain and 42% less pain when walking, and also took less medication. So it's always a good idea to add ginger to your diet when you're doing strength training, or running marathons, or preparing for marathon, or you're planning on starting a workout plan. Definitely add ginger in your diet. It helps in reducing muscle pain and soreness. Okay. And then
Yeah,
and of
that's a wonderful tip, Sirisha. Like if we can add ginger, it definitely helps with muscle pain and soreness, and
Mhm.
also menstrual pain reduction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Menstrual pain is a big one, Shobha, because
Mhm.
I know one of my friends, she went trekking, and we were talking about ginger turmeric tea the day before, okay?
Mhm.
Few days before she went on trekking, and just the day she started trekking, she had her period, and the pain was unbelievable. And the night before she started this, she started using, she took grated ginger and some turmeric powder, and she made the tea in their tent. And she had that, and she told me, like, it's unbelievable the
Mm.
relief she got because she had that ginger turmeric tea along with a little bit of black pepper.
Mm.
So we know about all these things, but when someone is using and benefiting from that, it gives really the joy. Like,
Yes.
food
Yes.
indeed is medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those are the health benefits of ginger. I will stop the share and I'm going to show, I mean, all of you already know how ginger looks, but I just want to show like how it comes. Like it's a rhizome. It comes in the root form. This is the fresh ginger. It also comes in the dry form, which is like the dry ginger. We can make powder of the dry ginger and use in the teas and various dishes. And dry ginger has been shown to have so many benefits. And fresh ginger, when you're making soups, when you're making Thai dishes, when you're making dishes with eggplant, or when you're making khichdi. Khichdi is a very, very typical Indian dish that we use a grain and a lentil and a lot of ginger and black pepper. So that is like a basic combination that we use in khichdi. So in dishes like that, we use ginger. So ginger has amazing, amazing benefits. And I always recommend buying organic ginger as much as possible, again, to prevent, all the unnecessary pesticides, right? So that's about ginger. And let's talk about the next one, which is our favorite turmeric, right? Who doesn't like this golden yellow spice, right? The smell of the turmeric itself, I don't know why, makes me happy. Whenever I'm in my kitchen and I open that turmeric dabba or that box of turmeric, the smell of that turmeric itself makes me happy. And as I said, there were 8,000 studies on PubMed. You can log on to PubMed and check for yourself, where the studies show that the turmeric has action in cancer prevention, cancer trigger, cancer spread, inhibits transformation of normal cells to cancer cells. It also has a role in preventing the mutation of cells into cancer, as well as shrinking the tumor cells. So at every level of cancer, turmeric has benefits. And no wonder this golden spice has, so much fame all over the world, well-deserved fame, right? So again, um, we have to know how to use it, how much to use it. You know, I would recommend using turmeric in your cooking. And for example, if that day I did not eat any dishes, for a couple of days I didn't eat any dishes that have turmeric, I would say, like, make, tea with ginger and a little bit of turmeric and black pepper and have it. Even then, don't use too much turmeric. Use, just 1/3 spoon or half teaspoon of turmeric. And in order to increase the curcumin that is there in turmeric, add a pinch of black pepper as well as some ginger. The combination of black pepper, turmeric, and ginger works amazing. Try adding them in your tofu scramble, try adding them in your curry dishes, try adding them even in curried pasta, in soups, in many, many dishes we can add. And turmeric is so good for heart health. Always everyone talks about is so good for cancer prevention as well as progression, preventing the progression of cancer or reducing the progression of cancer. But it has amazing, amazing benefits on our heart health as well. It also reduces blood sugar, especially someone who has pre-diabetes. you know it's a wonder that people who have pre-diabetes, if they're taking turmeric, the risk of that progressing into diabetes is almost zero. In a study they did, like, where people with pre-diabetes took turmeric, the curcumin supplements, the active compound in turmeric, and 0% of them progressed to diabetes. So that's an amazing study. You should look up that study on PubMed. So that is about turmeric. I'm going to quickly show, like, I mean, you already know like how turmeric looks. It's the root, but how we use turmeric in our home is like the turmeric powder, which is this, as I told, it's very, very relaxing to smell that turmeric because we are so used to, and because of its amazing benefits, in the spiritual space also, turmeric has a big role. Ladies in olden days, even now in India, many of them apply turmeric paste on their feet. It's shown to reduce the infections, as well as improve the skin tone. Turmeric face pack is amazing, it will reduce the sun damage, as well as improve the quality of the skin. So make use of turmeric either in your food or topically. So, but again, be aware of how much you're using. Just because a spice is good, a little bit is good doesn't mean a lot is better. So we have to remember that. Someone with gallstones and kidney stones, please talk with your doctor before you use large quantities of curcumin supplements of turmeric. Okay.
I'm glad you mentioned about the quantities, Dr. Sirisha, because I know, like, as you said, if we consider something good, we think maybe adding more is going to benefit us. But when it comes to turmeric, it's just that pinch that is enough to add in our tea or food. And obviously, when we are adding pepper, it increases the absorption of turmeric by 2,000 times more. So I'm glad, because a lot of people think that if I'm just adding, sometimes people even add tablespoons of turmeric, which
That's a lot. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a lot, especially if you're also adding black pepper, as Dr. Shobha mentioned. You have to be careful because, yeah, the beautiful thing about these herbs and spices is like they work even in very, very tiny quantities. So after the turmeric, we will talk about black cumin seed, and there we will talk how much benefit just 1/4 teaspoon of Nigella sativa or black cumin seed has. So, sorry. Yeah. So this is Nigella sativa. It's also called black cumin seed. Some cultures they call it onion seed, and in Indian language Hindi it is called kalonji. So sometimes you even find these seeds named as kalonji. So it's very much popular in Middle Eastern cuisine, not only to use on the flatbread and to top the dips, but they have also used black cumin seeds, the Nigella sativa, when someone gets sick. They make paste of these seeds, add a little bit of date syrup, and give that to the patients so that their immunity is increased. So there are compounds called thymoquinones. These thymoquinones that are there in Nigella sativa are the ones that has been shown to help with the immune support. Okay, so thymoquinone is an antioxidant and the main component that increases the natural killer cell activity by 30%. I don't think any anti-cancer medication can do that, right? So to your low-fat, whole food, plant-based diet, please add Nigella sativa. But of course, check for allergies and check with your doctor. Someone with severe kidney disease should hold off using Nigella sativa until you check with your physician. Okay, but other than that, if there is allergies, not a problem. Definitely buy these Nigella sativa seeds. Try to buy organic variety and make a coarse powder or use them by itself and keep them readily available to you so that the chance of using it is increased, right? We know something is good. Like, for example, we know turmeric is good, ginger is good, or blueberries are good, kale is good. But if we don't have them readily available, how are we going to use them, right? So first, try a small packet, make a coarse powder of that. First, use only half of 1/4 teaspoon. If 1/4 teaspoon is too much for you, because the benefits from 1/4 teaspoon itself have been shown, to be effective. So it supports the immune system. It's great for digestive health. It supports healthy lungs. It is heart healthy because Nigella sativa again can reduce triglycerides as well as LDL cholesterol. And the other one, again, with the anti-diabetogenic properties, we talked about cilantro having anti-diabetogenic properties, amla having anti-diabetogenic properties, turmeric, ginger, as well as Nigella sativa. So what are we doing not using these amazing herbs and spices to help in our blood sugar lowering or diabetes reversal, diets? So again, it has potential anti-cancer properties because it can increase natural killer cell activity. So I'll stop the share and
So, Sirisha, we have a question here. So, Connie is asking, should I grind the black cumin seeds?
that's a great question because I grind my black cumin seeds and store in the refrigerator because it is seed, and it's always a good idea to, whenever we grind a seed, store in the refrigerator. And to answer her question, yes, I grind it because the absorption is better if we grind the seeds, right? I mean, flax seeds, definitely we should grind. Similarly, many of the seeds, if we grind them and use it, the benefits are much more compared to the raw, seeds by themselves. And this is doesn't matter what brand you buy, but try to buy the organic one, and always store these seeds in the fridge, refrigerator, or the freezer section so that their bioavailability as well as their shelf life increases. All those amazing oils will not be oxidized. Especially for someone who lives in California and Los Angeles with high heats, I store all my seeds and nuts in the fridge so that those are not oxidized. Yes.
So we have other question. Where do you use black cumin seeds? In what dishes personally?
Yeah, personally, I use them on the dips. If I'm making hummus, if I'm making like any dip, like red pepper and almond dip, or if I'm making amla chutney, I just sprinkle a little bit of black cumin seeds. But in general, I like to use it on individual plates. For example, 1/4 teaspoon on my plate and my husband's, and then I even use for my kids, especially by my basketball player. I definitely use black cumin seeds in his burritos, on the avocado toast. I'm telling you, Shobha, amazing. It has that spicy kick, and the smell, the aroma of kalonji, the black cumin seeds, is really good. You can use on avocado toast. The reason I use for my son is like, the studies show that when athletes are using black cumin seed, in that study, they use the black cumin seed oil. When they're using the recovery is faster. And we know athletes can get a common cold faster than regular population, right? So for that reason, also people who are using black cumin seeds regularly, there is less incidence of colds. So, or recovery from a cold. So
Yeah, that is so good to know. And especially when it comes to kids, they love the avocado toast. So that is a good
right?
place to hide all the
Hide that
healthy
in his
spices and
burrito.
everything. Yes, that's a good place to hide. Yeah.
And my son is looking forward to Taco Tuesdays. This So he'll get his, dose of cilantro. I'm going to add some raw onion also in here and some lemon juice and then a little bit of black cumin seed. And then, while cooking the beans and corn and the peppers and with a little bit of salsa, I also add some black pepper and turmeric so
Mhm.
that it's not overpowering, but then you still have that spice in there. So
Mhm.
it will be a good idea to add them in cooking so that it becomes a normal thing instead of separately taking again like a supplement, like a tea and all that.
Yeah, that is so true. Like when we are using in normal cooking, especially, and all the things that you mentioned, Dr. Sirisha, like this is something that we can use in normal cooking every day, like the cilantro, ginger, even this black cumin seed, turmeric.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, this are amazing. And like you hit the nail on the head. Like when you have them at home,
Yes,
you will be definitely using them more.
exactly.
And now with your session, people know how to use it and where to put and all their
One
benefits
thing
as well.
I will ask is add cilantro in your shopping cart.
Yes.
If you don't have the anti-cilantro gene.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
definitely start using cilantro, more cilantro and other herbs and spices we talked about. I know
Mhm.
some of them are very, very new and it can be apprehensive to use all that, but start with small quantities and try using few days a week and then it becomes a habit.
Yes. And Dr. Gregor, he also has this in his daily dozen when it comes to black cumin. He specifically mentioned that because there are so many studies indicating that it is so beneficial. And it also helps with weight loss for
Oh,
people.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you reminded me of that. Black cumin has the weight loss effect too.
Mhm.
In Middle Eastern, the prophet, I think they were saying like black cumin helps with everything except death. So, I mean, it has been used from centuries, from the oldest civilizations. And yeah, some parts of India use a lot more black cumin than other parts. And
Mhm.
yeah, so again, even for black cumin seed, dose is very, very important. Just because a little bit is good, a lot more is not better. So
Mhm.
remember that and using it because of its blood sugar lowering properties. If you are taking diabetes medications, please check your blood sugar so that you won't go hypoglycemic.
Mhm. Yep.
Not only blood sugar, Shobha, we have to mention the blood pressure also.
And
Yeah, because low blood pressure can lead to falls.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. And this this spices, I mean, they are a great way of like enhancing, obviously, like enhancing flavor, and it boosts our health benefits so much.
exactly.
Yes, yeah.
So since the cardamom is next to me, I'm so tempted to make a green chai with a little bit of ginger. I mean,
Uh-huh.
ginger, some black tea, and cardamom. Ah,
Yes,
soy
yes.
milk. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, that is so amazing. So
Yeah.
that
So
yeah, that can literally soothe us, and the smell of cardamom and ginger. Oh my God. Yeah. And as you were mentioning about the black cumin and amla, like especially in India, they regard the spice so much. Like they use it in pickles. I mean,
yes,
especially the
yes.
gooseberry pickle. I
Gooseberry pickle.
mean,
Yeah.
my grandmother, like,
Mhm.
she would make this gooseberry pickle and also add kalunji in
Yeah.
pickles. So that's,
Very clever. They're very,
yeah,
very smart.
yeah. So,
That's what I'm saying. Like they used food as medicine. Yeah.
mhm.
we were thinking like, oh, in every Indian dish they add cilantro on the top, but there was
Yeah.
a meaning for that.
Yeah.
No, because cilantro has nitrate increasing properties as well as detoxifying properties because of the chelating agent in it.
Mhm.
So they were adding cilantro because it has health benefits, not because it's a beautiful garnish.
Mhm. That
So,
is so true. That
yeah,
is so
so,
true.
mhm,
Yeah. Like if you see, like they use turmeric in everything, they
mhm,
use,
mhm.
I mean, they put cilantro on everything. So this we think maybe it's just out of habit or out of this, but they really had such meaning and purpose in adding all these things.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Because especially in the winter seasons when the cold and all these respiratory infections are prevalent, the
Mm-hmm.
use of amla is much higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we know, like we talked about how many more times the antioxidants amla has compared to all the amazing fruits and vegetables. So it'll be a good idea to incorporate those. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, any tips for our audience when it comes to like cooking? Like a lot of people are intimidated when you think of cooking. Oh my God! It is such a chore. I mean, thinking about breakfast, thinking about lunch, thinking about supper. So, like, what advice would you give them, like when it comes to cooking? Like
In
cooking
general,
food. Yeah.
first, I mean, try to gather your family together, make it like a family activity, and choose the health recipes that you already like.
Mhm.
Okay, for example, someone from India, they like palak paneer, which is nothing but spinach and cottage cheese,
Mhm.
right? And their spinach is amazing, right?
Mhm.
When we are making the dish, we already add ginger garlic paste, which
Mhm.
we know is amazing. We will be adding, a lot of herbs and spices, cumin seeds, and we'll be adding spinach paste. So just try to reduce the oil, reduce the cream that is used in the dish, and replace it with non-dairy, and when you're sauteing the vegetables, try to add water instead of oil. And the best thing about cooking is when you see the health benefits showing on your body, or showing in your energy levels, showing in your lab values, then it clearly shows, it clearly draws interest in cooking. So it's all about trying to make it a family activity. Choose some of your favorite dishes and try to make them healthy, and we are saving a lot of money as well when we are cooking at home. Yeah, it's a definitely economical, and cooking can be a stress buster when you include your family members with cleaning and with dishes and all that. Yeah,
I
definitely,
know
definitely.
that is the greatest deterrent factor. They're like, oh my God, so many dishes. I have to
Mm,
wash
I
so
know.
many dishes, clean or yes.
We can batch cook. I'm telling you, like whenever we are batch cooking, we are making, if you're making a small quantity. So, for example, today I made black beans, corn, and this mix, but I already have a pot full of that I made. I can show that quickly. I made like a pot full of that, so
Mm-hmm.
that I don't have to worry about it for at least few more days. So
Mm-hmm.
tips like this can be helpful. Like if when you're doing cooking, cook large quantities and store them in individual containers so that they won't be spoiled, but then you have them readily available. You'll be saving money, you'll be saving cooking time, you'll saving the gas, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
all these things can be helpful. And whenever you want to eat or when you're hungry, a readily available healthy meal is there. You can even freeze the food. Some of the foods can freeze really well and you can reheat and use it. And especially when it comes to rice or any grain or potatoes, cook them and put in the refrigerator and reheat and use them later, not only for convenience, but we know like the glycemic index is lower. The resistant starch will increase in them, right? So use like tips and tricks like that where you don't have to cook every day, especially when you're eating plant-based food, it's mostly assembling. Get the greens, as Dr. Shobha and I were just discussing before the show, like what we had for lunch or what are the dinner plans. So I said, like, I had a bowl of, arugula topped with the black beans, corn, and everything. So majority of the time, plant-based eating is assembling more than cooking. So
I know we enjoy talking about our food. Like, what did you have for breakfast? What did you have for lunch? And it's I would say it's even a main conversation. Even when we are asking our kids, the first question is, "What did you eat?" or "Did you even
yes,
eat?" Because
exactly,
that's our foremost concern. Yeah. So with
exactly.
that, I would definitely love to ask you, what is your favorite breakfast? What is your favorite lunch and supper?
Uh, Now, my favorite breakfast is oats with blueberries or blackberries, with all these, amazing herbs and spices, a little bit of amla powder, a little bit of kalonji, few walnuts. So that became like a very filling breakfast for me. So that is my favorite breakfast nowadays. And then lunch, I like some greens topped with some hot food.
Mhm.
Even though it's not a typical salad, I like to top my beans with some kind of chickpeas curry, or if I'm making, the Mexican black beans and corn, I like to top my greens with that. And then for dinner, I like to eat quinoa with few curries. And we like to change these once in a while. I like pasta with, lentil pastas with a lot of veggies. And in Indian food, I like all kinds of curries. Yeah, I can just, survive on curries, right? But my favorite when it comes to non-Indian food is Mexican. I love Mexican food, like black beans, corn, salsa. I can survive with a lot of cilantro.
Yes. So we just had a question. Angie is asking, is there something that will help with acid reflux when using turmeric?
That's it.
Okay.
And using turmeric. So turmeric is
Turmeric.
causing acid reflux.
Yeah, so Angie, like first of all, we do want to ask you, what is making you think that turmeric is causing acid reflux?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but if you're looking for something that will help with acid reflux, I know like you eat plant-based, like you have transitioned to eating plant-based eating. Um, but like we would need more information because we can't just tell like what is causing acid reflux for you. So for that, we would definitely need more information. But when it comes to acid reflux, yes, there are certain foods that can soothe, um,
Yes.
soothe your acid reflux.
Yeah, actually, turmeric has been shown to reduce the inflammation, like especially someone
Mhm.
has esophagitis or, other
Mhm.
inflammatory conditions. Turmeric has shown to reduce the inflammation, but the cause of acid reflux, we don't know.
Mhm.
Plant-based diet has been shown to reduce the risk of acid reflux, and
Mhm.
also mind over body, like the
Yes.
meditation can help reduce
Yes.
acid reflux. And join Dr. Shobha's amazing meditation sessions to reduce the acid reflux. I know personally some of the people who joined your sessions have gotten benefit, from acid reflux. So
Okay.
I would say,
So
yeah.
Angie is saying when I use turmeric, I seem to have this problem. So again, Angie, see, like again, when it comes to turmeric, you don't want to use too much. See if you could just 1/4 teaspoon. I mean, you can start there
Mhm.
rather than using too much and see if that makes a difference for you.
Yeah.
Um, Okay, so I know like we are well over the time, but like we always enjoy your sessions so much, and we never know how time flies. So thank you so much, Dr. Sirisha, for spending this beautiful time with us and increasing our knowledge and awareness about all these different spices. This session definitely has helped us to actually think about spices and literally go and buy them and have it in our house and use them.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you, Dr. Shobha, for having me on this amazing Gift of Health Tuesdays. Really appreciate all the work you're doing to help so many people around the world. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you so much.